Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. Sage Ryan, who we're going to talk about, has nothing to do with the costume contest, but I did want to spend some time on this because I thought he had a lot of interesting things to say back on Tuesday when we chatted with Sage Ryan. And you all know his story. 5-star recruit, comes to LSU, didn't play a ton early on, has been kind of forced into some different positions at nickel and then out boundary corner last year, and then early this year when Zy Alexander went out. And now he's been moved primarily back to safety as Zy Alexander's come back and Ashton Stamps plays the other side. And it's just kind of been a winding road for Sage, but he's played better since being moved to safety. So I kind of want to talk about some of these things. And one of the things that he mentioned, and somebody asked, how have you grown the most? And he talked about becoming a leader on this team in his fourth year.
I've grown as a leader, especially, in the back end, you got to communicate a lot. Just to be able to point guys in the right position. And guys actually trust me to be a leader in the back end. I make most of the calls, most of the checks at the free safety position. So for those guys, to trust me to do that means a lot to me. So that's basically the area that I've grown in my communication and leadership.
And I think as you look at since he moved back there, when Zy Alexander came back, like LSU has obviously been in better position. They've been really in position for the better part of a month at this point, which was a serious problem all of last year, and it's sometimes early this year. So that's clearly been a huge piece of it, is that Sage Ryan has helped in the back end of the defense doing that. They asked if he was kind of forced into that leadership role.
I didn't have it in the beginning, of my career. I kind of was, just lead by example guy, but they kind of not forced me, but pushed me to be better in that aspect of the defense, to communicate and be a leader in the back end. They kind of challenged me to embrace that role in the spring. So I just, I took it and ran with it. And I continue to get better with it each and every day, kind of working on, making the calls and the checks and all that in the back end.
Look, I'm not sure that Sage Ryan is the best cover guy that LSU's got on the roster. So for him to go out there for 65, 70 snaps as a boundary cornerback and just try to play straight up man and zone coverage is just not best suited for him. Not to mention, he's learning nickel, he's learning corner, he's still got to learn safety, and now he's just kind of focusing on one. And I thought this was maybe these next two that we'll play were two of the more insightful bites that we got from him on Tuesday about settling in at safety.
Yeah, it definitely has helped me. I played all those positions, corner, safety, nickel. But, to focus on one position at safety and, just dial in on that, it helps me to play, faster and just fly around to the ball.
And he's done that. He's been good in coverage. He's made some plays against the run. He's made some plays moving up and chopping guys down in some short passing game situations. I think he's done great. And the question was asked, is it hard to learn every position in the secondary?
It's very difficult. You kind of gotta lock in on your keys a lot. You gotta kind of think about the game like it's like really playing chess, to be honest. You just gotta be in the right spots at the right time. But I'm glad that I focused on one position and dialed into that so that I could lock in and just be comfortable at that one position.
The addition of Sage Ryan at safety, Zy Alexander at corner, and then Major Burns up to star, those three moves have made LSU better everywhere. They've made LSU better in the secondary, in the back end. They've made LSU better in coverage. Zy Alexander was the highest rated player on LSU's team against Ole Miss on defense, and they didn't even target him in Fayetteville last weekend. He's been really good in coverage. And Sage has done a good job now moving back to his natural spot, and Major Burns is finally, it's clicked for him at star, and he's making plays in the backfield. He's making plays against the run. He's done a good job. Those three moves, I think, have unlocked more. We can talk about Braden Swinson a lot, and we should. We can talk about Whit Weeks a lot, and we should. But one guy rushing off the edge and one guy in the middle of the field aren't going to make a defense magically, improve this significantly. And I think it's a matter of moving all those pieces around. And Sage kind of talked about that. I think it's a big, big deal. Sage also talked about the front seven doing their part to help out the DBs.
Like you said, the front seven plays a huge role in our defense. Just to bring that energy back, that old LSU defensive feeling back. We work hard to, to do this consistently each and every week. We're going to do it each and every week. We got the guys to do it. So just to trust Coach Baker's plan each and every week and just try to be consistent. That's pretty much it. And just go out there and play, fast, free, and physical football.
They clearly trust Blake Baker, and he's trusting them more. The question that doesn't matter at all, but, this is a talk show, is how much do I trust the defense to continue to play that good? How much does the LSU fan base trust them? When we have these discussions and we're breaking down the game and we're talking about LSU's defense, how much do we trust that LSU is going to continue to improve and play great defense? Because everyone who's watched LSU play for a year and a half now has some scar tissue from a lot of the guys that are on the field. We've seen a lot of these guys, Swinson and Savion Jones and Major Burns and Greg Penn and Sage Ryan and Zy Alexander. We've seen all these guys on the field for big, big, big productive days and plays against oppositions. But they held their own against Ole Miss, forced some crucial stops early, got a couple of turnovers they had to get, and held Ole Miss to, 17 points in regulation? And then, was that right? Maybe 20. Either way, they held them under their season average by a lot and gave LSU every chance to win that game, maybe 24. And then they held Arkansas to 10 last week. If they can play that way and stand up to Ole Miss against the run, stands up against Texas A&M's run game, and hold Texas A&M to 17, 20 points, they're going to win the game. But do you trust that they can do that? They're giving you a lot of reasons to, but it feels like because of the scar tissue for a year and a month, where South Carolina's running wind sprints and running for 235 and USC scoring late touchdowns and all of last year, it's like, I still remember all that. Is it still there? I guess we find out coming up on Saturday. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.